Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is BigMan0192. Right now it is fucking midnight, and I've already recorded this video once. The audio didn't pick up, so we're doing it again. Right now I'm going to be showing off a new build, new to me at least. It is August 25th, 2015, for anybody who needs to know this information. This is the Hambo Berserker Warrior build. Now, I like this build because it uses a sweet hammer and a sweet bow. Basically, the idea of the build is you're going to be switching weapons, gaining might, and then doing even more damage. Now we're going to get straight into it. What you're going to need is all your armor has to be power, precision, ferocity. Then you're going to need Superior Rune of the Warrior on everything. Then we're going to go over to your hammer. It's, power, precision, ferocity. You're going to need a Sigil of Battle and a Sigil of Paralyzation. You're going to need a bow of with the Sigil of Agony and a Sigil of Battle. So pretty basic shit. You're going to need ruby earrings, ruby rings, and a ruby amulet, and then you can also get a backpack. I got a guild bag with the same things, and all these items have exquisite ruby jewels, which are fantastic. As you can see, the stats they're alright, they're not bad, but as you get more might, you do more damage, and I would have a little more health, but my world versus world, my world is pretty shit, so, but, you have a okay amount of health. You're not totally glass cannon, you can deal with things. All your shouts heal you. I'm going to go over here and I'll show you the actual skills and things. We're going to have strength, tactics, and discipline. Now strength, I'll let you look at this, just go through all that, and all of this, and all of that. I'm kind of hurrying because it's late. There's a, roommate sleeping and I don't want to wake them up. But yeah, so once you get everything down, now we can talk about the skills. So what we're going to need is To the Limit, Shake It Off, For Great Justice, On My Mark, and then Signet of Rage. And then basically how you use the build is if, you're in PvP or whatever. If you're in PvP, you're going to start with the bow. You're going to shoot them with 5, then hit 4, then hit 2, then switch. Then you're going to hit them with the 5, which knocks them down. Then I usually go 3, 4, 2, because then they're knocked down, and then they're stunned, and then, you can just keep wailing them, and then the moment you can, you switch back to the bow, and then you just rinse and repeat. And then as you're doing this, you'll use your shouts. Now these shouts also heal you, in addition, and then you gain adrenaline with To the Limit, which is fantastic. And then whenever you're able to use your Earthshaker ability, use it. Just make sure you hit them, because if you miss them, then what the fuck was the point? If you guys are wondering about my armor, most of it, all other than the pants, is all dungeon armor that you can get. It's pretty basic stuff. The hammer, I know I tricked you for a moment there, not the precursor. I know, sad. I'm trying to think what else. If you're in just a PvE situation, I usually start off with knocking down my foe, hitting them, get through your skills here until they're all it needs to be recharged, switch the weapon. It's pretty basic. People in PvE don't really need anything. And the reason I have a hammer is when I go through dungeons and things, I'm usually focusing on the big boss or whatever. It's a single target weapon. If you want to go to multiple targets, you would use dual axes, things like that, but that is another build for another time. Soon I should have a warrior tank build, which is basically you're just invincible, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, if it helped you out, please leave a like and maybe favorite it. If you have any questions about the build, or you want me to show off any other builds in the future, just let me know. I will be showing off this build pretty soon. I'll be recording when the guild does guild missions and dungeons and things like that. We should be doing a fractal soon. But yeah, and if you're wondering what dye I have, it is Shadow Orange dye on my armor, and it actually changes the tint depending on where you are. It's a little bit bluer in these areas, just because, you know, Azuras, you know, I don't know, they like blue shit. But yeah, so, I don't know, I made this video just because I don't like a lot of the build videos that are out currently, because they're all outdated and old, but this build works. It's not the most overpowered build ever, but we'll get to that. It's, in my opinion, there's a Necro Tank build, and a, I think we call it the Fire Guardian, which is just, it's a DPS build, which is just ridiculous. So we'll talk about those some other time as well, too. But, again, thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions for future videos, let me know, and have a good one.